Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hey friends, it's Ashley! So as you can see by the title of this video, this is going to be a part of my life advice playlist section of my channel. And I actually think this is a really important topic to talk about just because of the negative connotation that sororities have in the media. So I am in technically a fraternity because we are in the United States and in Canada, but it is all girls, so it's kind of confusing. But I'm in Alpha Gamma Delta. I know for a fact that I've been told that Alpha Gamma Delta has a no hazing policy. They don't tolerate it at all. And so I've never had any hazing at all. No instances of it. That was one of actually my biggest concerns going into a sorority. Was pretty much throughout the entire what we call a new member process, I was told that there was no hazing, and I didn't believe it really at all. And you know, with my high anxiety, I kind of around every corner was worried that something was going to happen, that I had just been lied to. Because something else I think is really important about a sorority is that in the back of your mind, you have to remember it's a group of however many girls. We're a small school and we have like 50 to 70, not to stereotype or implement any gender roles, but really honestly, girls are very catty 99.9% of the time, and girls are very competitive for a multitude of things. I've definitely seen instances of sisters taking other sisters' exes, or I've also seen instances of fighting, not physical fighting, but like yelling and people being very passive aggressive either on social media or in different parts of campus. I've seen chapter on chapter hate, and even though especially our campus tries to implement a Greek life community, it's almost inevitable. You know, every sorority or fraternity has their own personality, and you're in that fraternity or sorority because you fit with those people, and so everyone kind of has their own personality, and not everyone gets along with everyone, and therefore you have to expect that not every chapter is going to get along. It's kind of naive if you think that's going to happen. I've also seen extreme instances of kindness and compassion, and I've seen sisters do things for each other that I could never imagine any of my other friends doing. I've seen sisters drive each other an hour and a half to go get a hot dog. I've seen people, you know, drop everything they have to help someone if a family member has passed, or if they're just having a really bad day. I know for myself personally, I've taken sisters ice cream at their dorm room without them kind of being like, oh my god, I want ice cream kind of thing. I just knew the person was having a bad day, and therefore I decided to go out of my way and do that for them. And I've definitely seen that other sisters do that as well. It's kind of, to everything, there's kind of two sides to every sword, and although it is a bunch of girls and they are really, it can become very catty and it can become very competitive in a way. At the same time, some of the nicest people, sisters go to entire countries together. We've had a few of our sisters go to Africa together. They go on study abroad trips together. And there's that core bond of, you know, that you're put in the same area because you essentially have the same personality or the same traits. And so, although not everyone's gonna get along, you have a pretty good chance of finding a good friend. Another thing that's kind of interesting is the parties do happen, but it's not what Greek life's about. You know, not only does it happen in Greek life, but it happens in general. You know, people go out and they drink and they party, and I don't really know what goes on, but I definitely know that they exist. And there's nothing wrong with that, and you do you, and as long as you're safe and you are, you know, doing consensual things with other human beings, you know, we're not all, sororities and fraternities aren't all about the parties and being popular or whatever surface level things people believe life is about anymore. We do an insane amount of service work. In our chapter, for example, we have to have 5 service hours, which I personally think is really low. Most, if not all, of our girls go way above that. But you do have a mandatory 5 service hours. We also have a set GPA, but in our instance, you aren't kicked out of the sorority. I can't speak for anyone else, but I know our personal thing is that we want you to be helped, and that's really important to me. If somebody is struggling, they're not just gonna throw you out the window because, you know, you're not as good as the rest of the people. They're gonna help you to make sure that you can be the best person you can be. That's really awesome. You know, and also another thing that our sisters do is we have like buddies that go together to different parties and stuff, and we make sure that everyone has someone else, and pretty much everyone has each other's numbers, and if anyone needs help at a party or they're stuck somewhere and they know that they can't safely make it home, they know that they can call anyone and somebody will be there to get them. I think another really important thing to keep in mind is that not all fraternities and sororities are all about like face value things. Like, there was this big thing going on about an Alpha Phi video that was out. They all looked like tall white blondes, and I know personally I've never come into contact with that, especially in my sorority. We're all so extremely different in looks and really like career goals and thoughts and opinions. And although sometimes I can get really heated and cause some discrepancies between people, I like that. I love that. I don't want to be friends with another version of myself. That's so boring, and I feel like it would just become a popularity contest at some point, and one place that doesn't really care what you look like or how many friends you have on Twitter or how many boys or girls that you've been with or anything like that. Oh, I think another really important part is that something that we always say at my Alpha Gam is that you'll get out as much as you put in. So a lot of people think that Greek life will take over your entire life. You can have no other friends. You can't go anywhere else. You have to live in the house. Just things like that. And personally, I've never had that issue. And I do think what you put in, you'll get out. I know personally I've had semesters where I've been able to be with my sisters a lot, and I wasn't really influenced by Alpha Gam all that much during that semester. But at the same time, there have been semesters where I've been with the girls a lot, and I've really formed some great friendships, and especially with my mom, who is also known as like a big to a lot of other Greek life organizations. She has now become one of my biggest influences and also inspirations and friends, and it can become your entire life if you want it to be, just like anything, you know, but it doesn't have to be. Another thing that's a huge misconception is that you pay for your friends. No. I don't know, this one's really kind of difficult because I can see where people see that, because it is a lot of money, and there are some sorority and fraternities that are definitely more than others. Ours being a small campus is not like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, but there are fees and there are different things that you do have to pay every month, and it's hard because I can see where people think you pay for your friends, but at the same time, that money goes toward so many things. It goes toward initiation, it goes toward your house, it goes toward paying your dues in general, it goes toward, some of it can go toward your philanthropy. I know some of our money goes toward the Alpha Gamma Delta Foundation, which helps other sisters in need. So for example, a few years ago we had a Alpha Gamma house that completely burnt to the ground, and they used some of that money to give the girls all new clothes and to help rebuild their chapter and new books and things, and that's phenomenal. You know, without the Alpha Gamma Delta Foundation, there's no way that they really could have done that. And so I know some of our money goes to that, but I see where people do see that. I don't look at it. I think it really is the way you look at it. You know, you can look at it as, oh, you're paying for your friends, and then at the same time you can look at it as, oh my god, that money goes towards so many good things in not only Alpha Gamma where my school is, but also Alpha Gamma like headquarters, Alpha Gamma International. Everything goes toward helping other people that are my sisters around the globe, helping give grants to sisters that might not be able to pay for their final semester of college, that are seniors that just want to get it done with but they can't, and they might have to take a semester off, or you know, sometimes that money goes toward that. And it's not at all paying for your friends. None of it do. But without being in a fraternity or sorority, there's really no other way that you would have a large group of women with the same morals and the same values and the same personality all come together as one. And I just think that's really awesome. And you know, if you have to pay for that, then that's fine. But in the end, you're not really paying for them, you're paying for the things that the fraternity or sorority can bring to you. So if there's anything I'm going to take from this video, it's this. It can be really hard at times, and there are definitely nights when I'm sitting at a chapter meeting or at an event and I'm just like, I just want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to go home. I want to go to bed. I want people to stop talking. I want people to stop fighting. I want there to be less, you know, competition and less people just trying to be the best and outdoing each other. But at the same time, it's so worth it. It's worth every second of it. Every time there's a fight, you know, there's always another side. And I don't know, all the laughs and all the people I've met and things that I've learned about myself and those around me. You know, all of my friends are in my sorority, most of them. And I don't know, it really got me through some hard times. It really helped me when I feel alone or like I have no one else to tell anything to. There's always somebody there. That's really cool. So I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope you learned something and that your perspective on the Greek life community has been changed. Please still live with it. If I've changed your view this much, this video was worth it to me. Be sure to comment down below maybe things you've heard about if you are in a fraternity or sorority, or if you have any other questions that you'd like for me to answer. I'd love to start a conversation about Greek life in the comments down below. Make sure to remember to comment, like, and subscribe because I make at least one new video every single week, if not more. And I'd love for you guys to follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, or Instagram so that we can get to know each other a little bit better and so that we can have a little conversation about maybe Greek life or something else that you would like to talk about. Alright guys, it was great hanging out with you tonight, and I'll see you on the social sphere.